Hi, everybody. It's 4:30. Got some big hair going on here. Let me just make sure that I'm in the right group. And I know that this group thing is kind of feeling like it's a little out of control. And I'm sorry about that. Haven't found a better way. So think we're all kind of just still trying to adapt. And that's part of the format change for this class. So, it does look like I'm in the right place. But you know what? I do have to grab my notes, so give me just a second. Sorry. Okay. So, and of course, nothing like changing your card layout at an hour or two before the class actually starts, right? So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to see if you all come on board. And I'm going to let's see if I can. Yeah. Let me take away the host code for a few minutes. Hello, Kat. I'm so excited you're here. This is, I'm a little nervous this is my first time to do this format. I asked a bunch of people that aren't here for my classes to come and join me today, so that's exciting. But I'm going to confess here, but it's a secret just between those of us that get here. When UPS came today, they brought a couple of things. They brought 3 things. And so one of them was a replacement Bonanza Buddies stamp set, or birthday Bonanza, what's it called? Bonanza Buddies, because somewhere in this office, at least I'm pretty sure it's in this room, I have misplaced my Bonanza Buddies stamp set. And it's a favorite, and it's retiring, and I couldn't take a chance. Our stamp sets that are retiring are guaranteed until tomorrow, the next day, and I could not risk it selling out and me missing and not being able to find mine, so I bought a new one. I just bought a new one, and that's okay. So I knew that was coming, and I was counting on it because, guys, I forgot to color everything. So, oops, darn. Okay, the parts just flew out. Hold on a sec. This is one of our cards, and you see how cute he is? So I was counting on that one getting here. The other stamp sets that came, I wasn't quite so certain that they were coming today. So that was a surprise. But they did come today. And I purchased one of those stamp sets specifically to make the card that we're going to make today. And I've gotten everything ready to make that card, but I didn't get it stamped yet, so I don't even have a sample to show you of that one. This is one of our cards, and I love it. I'm not totally sold on these faceted gems. I love them, but they look a little big on this. So on the card we make, I might switch it up a little bit and use the gold gems from the Ornate Garden, because that just looks a little big to me. But I love the sunflower, and I have to tell you, there's a sunflower in the new catalog that you're gonna really, really like. So that's way cool. And then these 2 cards are not the same, but I think of them as the same. So I have both of them prepped, and I don't know which one we'll actually make, but they're note cards using the Dress to Impress suite. And I love this paper. But this paper is retiring, the stamp set is retiring, the framelits that go with it are retiring. So that's why I couldn't just do one. So, and I have forgotten to I didn't take the time to decorate my envelopes yet. So don't let me forget to make sure that we decorate envelopes today. So you're probably wondering, what is that stamp set that I had to have, that I had to make this one card for? So, and you might actually be a little surprised at this if you know me very well, because I grew up on the lake and I spent a lot of time on the lake. But this stamp set did not scream my name until I saw this one card. And then it did, and it screamed in a big way. So I haven't even, it came today, a couple hours ago. And it has the framelits that go with it. So we're going to do that. And we might even do that one first because it's right here. We'll do that one first. So, don't have a lot of people here, but I don't want to hold things up. So, card class. Normally, the third Thursday of every month, we have card class here in my home, and we make 8 cards. There are 4 designs, and we make 2 of each. We haven't been able to do that since, I think we were here in March. April's class, we tried to hold that format, but let everybody come pick up their card kits, and then we did an online Facebook Live like this, and it was hard. It didn't work really well. So some of my demonstrator friends had gone to this format where they've created a group, and their monthly card class is in the same group every month. My friend Michelle, who I really modeled this after, this is the card class that she offers. She does the same set of cards in person at her studio, and then she does them online as well. So that's, I think, what we will get to. When we're able to come back together, we'll come back together on the third Thursday, just like we did. And we'll make 8 cards. There'll be 4 designs, and we'll make 2 of each. Those same 4 designs will be in this online format the day before, the day after. I'm got to work out the timing of that. But we'll continue this online format. And there'll be, I always said that if you came to my classes, if you didn't want to make a purchase, you could pay cash and get the cards there to assemble. Let me try that again. I wanted there to be an opportunity to place an order and get your cards for free, but also to pay cash and get your cards. Because not everyone wants to have a collection. Not everyone has space. We all have different needs. And a long time ago, I belonged to one of these clubs where every month I was committed to making a $30 purchase or something. And I was committed for a year at a time. And I didn't like that. So I decided when I started holding classes that you wouldn't be locked in to making a purchase. And I feel like we're missing out. So anyway, that's how I arrived at what I did today. So we're going to make 4 cards, and you have 4 ways that you can get the kit to put these cards together yourself. You can place an order, and if you place a $25 order, I will send you the prepped cards, everything prepped for you. You'll just stamp and assemble. If you don't have the stamp sets that I'm using, you can use whatever products you have on hand, and that will be fine. If you place a $50 order, then I will send you the card kits, and I will send you an embellishment, and I will send you basically a full pack of Designer Series paper. So a pack of Designer Series paper is either 12 by 12 or 6 by 6. And I'm going to cut the paper into 6 by 6 squares, but give you 48 sheets. You have a variety of this paper that is retiring. And I love the papers, but I have a lot of them, so I'm going to share. So as my thank you for placing a $50 order, I'll send you the cards, I'll send you an embellishment, and I'll send you that pack of paper. So I'm very excited about that. And then if you are close to me and you'd like to do porch pickup, for $12, you can come to my house and pick up a packet to make. And if you don't live close, but that's the option you want to take, pay me $2 more and I will ship it to you. You don't know how to do this. Okay, don't know who that is. It's not showing your name. But you're just fine to watch right now. Everything's good. So anyway, that's how the ordering is going to work. That's how you're going to get your card kits this time. And we're going to try out this format and see what we like. So I'm going to turn the camera down and get crafting. All right. So, and I'll throw my little face over here on the left. At least I think you see that too. So let's start by working with this By the Dock stamp set. Now this stamp set is carrying over. So it is not retiring in June or June 2nd. You'll be able to get it in the new catalog as well. And it has the dies that go with it that coordinate. And I've already cut out our pieces. So the paper that we're using, this Designer Series paper, is from the Come Sail Away suite, and it's in the annual catalog. It is retiring. I will come back in a little while after the video and post photos of each card, let you know what supplies I used, and whether or not they're retiring. I intended to have that on little notes so that I could show you at the same time. I just didn't get that far. So this is Designer Series paper from the Come Sail Away. Very masculine. Imagine sailboats and lighthouses and such. So we're going to use, we have that. Our card base is Knight of Navy. And I have cut it. So this is a full sheet of cardstock like this. And I have scored it at 4 1/4 and then cut it at 5 1/2 and then fold it in half. Now, a lot of people don't do that score thing. They just fold it in half and they're good to go. I'm not that good. So I have a piece of Sahara Sand cardstock. Now, you wonder what I cut out here. I needed these oars for something else, and I knew that the Designer Series paper was going to cover it up. So I cut the oars from that piece of paper. So let's go ahead and glue this part down. Can I do that? I think I can. But you know what? I'm going to go back and look at my photo because it'd be a shame to have made this purchase and then, yeah. Okay. So I can, and I'm using Tombow multi-purpose adhesive. I use Tombow rather than snail because it gives me a little wiggle room, a little time to get this lined up. All right, and then I'll go ahead and put this in place. Isn't that just gorgeous already? But you can see the part that I cut out is covered up. So if you're joining, don't worry that you don't know what we're making, you don't have supplies out yet. That's not exactly how this would work, although I'll tell you the measurements as we go, and I'll also post photos with them. So the Sahara Sand piece is 5 1/4 by 4, and the Designer Series paper is 5 by 3 3/4. So I've just bumped in 1/4 of an inch each time. Now, and this piece I'm going to stamp on. And then this little piece, believe it or not, is the boat. And then we're going to stamp the dock on this. And so here's my brand new stamp set. Have you ever seen how I put this together? Yes, you're right. You do. I'm sure you do love this cat. We had great fun at Lake Gunnerville. Is that right? Now, I'm not going to do all of these. I should be paying attention. I only need these. Okay, so your stamps come like this, and they come with the labels here. So what I do is I peel off this backing, right? And this would cling a little bit to my block, but to get it really sticky to my block, I'm going to use these labels. Got a trash can right there. Let me throw that away. So I just make this like a little puzzle. So I'm going to just kind of line this up. Forgive my head if it gets in the camera. And then this part is sticky. That's the part that's going to stick to my acrylic block. Now I also need the boat. The little rowboat. I think I'm going to really enjoy this for way more than just this single card. And obviously I'd been on the fence about it if I jumped as soon as I saw this card. So clearly I did not design this card on my own. I rarely do. I typically start with the design of another talented artist and either copy it as close to exactly as I can, or I copy it and modify it, tweak it a little bit to fit my needs. Okay, so I need part of the dock to fit on my circle. And I'm just trying to decide if I want to use my Stamparatus for this or not. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Stamparatus. And that way I can show you how I work it as well for things like this. So I cut out the circle and the boat already using the die cut and embossing machine. The circle is a stitched label, and this is my most favorite, most versatile set of dies. Now they don't come on this magnetic card. They come like I just showed you in that little package. But this has circles, squares, and ovals, and I use this all the time. It is $30. It is called Stitched Shapes, and I'll be sure and put the item number for you as well. And I'm going to take out my Stamparatus, and we're actually going to use it a couple of times today. All right, I don't need this one just yet. I'm going to use this for the sunflower. Okay, so this is the Stamparatus. It's a stamp positioning tool, and I use it in my classes like this. I go ahead and cut out the pieces, and then we make a puzzle and stamp to get it in the right spot. I also use it when I'm making multiples of a card because it makes it go so quickly. So I've put the stamp case underneath this plate, and that will give me an even surface for inking up my stamp. Now I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to get out one magnet. I have two, but I don't think I'm going to need two for this. And I've got this grid paper that fits the Stamparatus. You could always just cut out grid paper, and you certainly don't have to have it. You could just stamp directly on the surface and then wipe it off. Okay, now this is where my dock is going to go, and I want it to be like so. I want most of it to fit. So remember that label is sticky, so I brought the plate over and picked it up. And now I'm going to take Sahara Sand ink and ink this up. And bring it over. So I intentionally can't figure out how to get on this. But you look like you are on it. You're just watching. I don't know who that is. Add to the broadcast. Can you put your name? Because you're commenting in the video, so you should be watching. Okay, so this looks pretty good. My bird he could be a little could be a little farther to the edge. So I can move my template if I want to get him a little bit over. Yvonne, hey Yvonne. I'm glad you're here. So Yvonne played bingo with me last weekend. Hello, Teresa. Teresa, are you the one saying that you're not sure that you're in the right place? Because you are. This is kind of a watch and learn right now. And having the kit and putting your cards together comes later. Okay, so now you see how I got that in the place that I wanted it. I'm going to do the same thing with the boat. And I can just take this part and turn it over and do this with the boat. So, but before I do that, I'm going to clean off my stamp. And I use a chamois for cleaning up my stamps. This is water-based ink, so it just comes right off. And I cut a chamois into 4 pieces specifically for working with the Stamparatus. Okay. All right, so that looks like about right. And I can kind of feel that I'm in the ridges. Now I need to put the Sahara sand away. I want this to be Night of Navy. Oh, well, Kat, the next day for bingo is July 24th. So write that down. We're going to have lots of fun. Lots of big prizes. And guys, we may be even using some Christmas product then. I'm going to be able to get Christmas product in July. So that's pretty exciting. Oh, and by the way, bingo prizes showed up. So I'm going to get to mail those out this weekend. All right, so I'm just moving my template around to make sure I've got the boat where I want it. And I'm just going to stamp that down to make sure, because it looks like my paper moved a little bit. Yep, I think I'm good. So now I'm just going to put my little puzzle piece in. Ink this up again. Close it up because navy ink can make a bit of a mess. Now, on the 30th of May, oh, look at that, it's beautiful, it's perfect. I'll just slide that out. And then if I was going to go ahead and make my second one, I would just take my puzzle piece. It's already in the right place. And I might as well make 2 while I'm at it, right? And ink it up. Oh, and this time it actually stuck to the stamp. That's okay. It's perfect too. Yeah, so Catherine, did you actually go to Arizona for that? I didn't track you. All right. Okay, so since I went ahead and stamped the boat, I might as well stamp my dock again. And we'll just make sure that that's still in the right place. You know what, it's going to be, oh, but it may not have, because I had to shift a little bit, so I might have to shift it again. But this is good, you get a feel for how this works. So the Stamparatus comes with 2 of these plates. And until just recently, or until this catalog ends, you can get a second set of plate. We're not going to sell extra plates in the new catalog. So I like having extra plates. I actually have 3 Stamparatuses so that we can use them in the class when we're all here. But extra plates is quite handy because you can just keep your stamps on them and just move them around. Pass the Stamparatus around and then just switch it out. I get everything positioned ahead of time. All right, that looks perfect. So we don't need the Stamparatus for the next piece of stamping for this card. Oh, I just scattered sunflower petals. It looks like I've got some navy on the other side. And okay. I can remember how to put it there. All right, so, and a lot of times when I make a template, I just keep my template inside the stamp case, like I would for the boat. The circle is obviously not a part of the stamp, but the rest of it is. Okay, I've already got that stamp out. Put the Stamparatus back. Then I need this. So this piece is going to go right here. Goodness, I've got navy ink under my nail. With this right here. So I'm going to stamp this here. Thank you for making a difference in my life. And I just want to get it. And then the boat is going to go right here. Kind of like this. So I want to kind of keep it to the right. Let's get a block. And I'm going to stamp this in navy. Sometimes with your greetings, a Stamparatus is nice to use because it'll help you get everything straight and in place. I'm not that picky. I can't get everything straight. So I just wing it. That looks beautiful to me. And while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and do this one. I am using my grid paper. And guys, you can get this grid paper too. That's not just for demonstrators. Keep your workspace tidy and give you the grids to make the lines with. And I've got a white liner to go inside. And I'm actually going to borrow a couple other stamps from this. I won't go so far to put their labels on and everything, otherwise it's going to, I don't know, we're ready to move on to the next card. This is a bit of a big block for that. Let's see if I can get a small one. That one's a little smaller. Oh my gosh, got navy everywhere. And then the other part of having the grid paper is that it's so handy to test with. And that's not exactly straight, but that's okay. Forgot that I had that out. Okay, so rinse your chamois so that you can prevent this from happening. Get a wipe. So notice the expanded area behind me for new stamps. I'll be filling that up, starting to fill that up in just a few weeks when I can order from the new catalog. No in person. Oh, wow. Okay, so here is the oar, and I'm going to stamp one oar. And yes, I did just make a big mess. Just want this, and actually I'm going to do it up. So how lovely. All right, that's our stamping. We're down to assembly. Set these inside here. Put the labels in there. Okay. Take care of that later. Okay, so first we're going to put this down. So I'm going to grab my glue. I just want that right there. Maybe a little higher. And then, of course, need dimensionals. So it's not always necessary to have so much of the stickiness of the dimensional. I mean, this is not Aladdin's carpet. It's not going to take off and fly across the room. But to have it, the support, you don't want saggy middles and stuff. I want the bird right there. And then the boat should just be able to glue the boat right there. And then I've got 2 oars that I cut out. And I'm going to layer them on top of each other and just use a glue dot to hold them in place. This is a silicone mat, which is great for working with glue or messy things. Because I don't want to get glue stuck to my surface. And I'm using a retired tool, and I'm sorry, my my take your pick tool is buried up here somewhere. And then this twine is awesome. You can separate it. You can use it both colors. It's Sahara Sand and Navy. And it is part of the Come Sail Away suite. And it is last chance, and it is on sale. And it's a ton of ribbon in this spool. I just had scissors, right? They always run away. So I started to tell you, May 30th is the masculine class, and we are going to be using the papers, the Designer Series paper from the Clubhouse suite, and some of the die cuts. Clubhouse is retiring, so I'm very sad about that because I haven't played with it nearly enough. And so you can add on, you're going to get $20 in product, and it'll be a lot of this beautiful paper, the masculine paper, because it's a masculine class. It doesn't have to be birthday. You could swap that out easily enough. Oops, don't want that quite that high. There. Yeah, the silicone mat is very nice for saving spaces, stickiness. And I'll put this down in the center. Now, see why I had to have that stamp set just for this card? I mean, I just loved it. It won't hurt my feelings if it's not your thing. Well, it won't hurt them much anyway. But I love that. Just so easy. So that would be a great Father's Day card if you need a Father's Day card. But just it doesn't have to be Father's Day, but I think we think of Father's Day because Father's Day is right here upon us. All right, so I do not want to do that. When I pick it up, I'll spill them everywhere. Let me do this. But I've got this little strip. This is for the envelope. Let me show you how you do your envelopes. You need that silicone mat back. And I do this with a tape runner. Let me see if I can find one. Okay. So this just adds an extra special touch. Take your Designer Series paper, run it along the edge. So I'm trying to do a better job of decorating the outside of my envelopes and the inside of the cards. And then you just cut this off. And there you go. Isn't that lovely? So there, that's just beautiful. I love it. Okay, so that is card number 1, using paper that is retiring, baker's twine that's retiring, but a stamp set and dies that will carry over to the new catalog. All right, so throw that up there. So the next one, since it's sitting right here with me, is this Hello Fabulous. And this is using the Designer Series paper from Dress to Impress and the stamp set, which is also retiring. And I think that's on sale. This mint macaron ribbon is probably retiring. And our note cards. So note cards are a great thing to have on hand. They come in a pack of 20 and they're a little smaller. So this is 3.5 by 5. But pack of 20 the card bases and your envelopes. And I'll have to look for the price, but it's great to have something just quick that you can put together. So let's make this one, this Hello Fabulous. I've already cut the paper to cover the entire note card. So it is 3.5 by 5. And then the strip of Designer Series paper is 1.5 by 3.5. So it's going to go all the way across. And then the mint macaron is 1 3/4 by 3.5. This paper is just beautiful. I love the stripe and then all these floral images. So this is a last chance item too. And we'll just put that on. And I like when I like taking the image all the way across, not giving it a border on both sides, on all 4 sides, just the top and the bottom. I think that's a nice little look. And then here we have the perfume bottles on this side, and then this is the paper on the other side. So that's why I went ahead and did 2, was because these just coordinated together so well. And this would be beautiful just like that. I've gone through a couple of packs of this paper. We've done I think I actually might still have, we did this as a birthday class. And I think I still have a kit from that class. Okay. I'll take my bone folder and burnish that edge. And then I am not going to put this part on dimensionals. smells pretty and sweet. And then we're going to stamp Hello Fabulous from the Dress to Impress. So here's the stamp set that goes with it. Lots of sweet little images. And this is Retiring. It's on the last chance list. And it has dies that coordinate with it as well. And I'm going to stamp this in Blackberry Bliss, which is one of my very favorite colors. And remember, these ink pads are really soft, so you don't want to sink it too far in. And you can see I got ink on the edge. It would be really easy for me to get that somewhere, so I'm just going to wipe it off so that I don't get it on the edge of anything, so that it doesn't go anywhere I don't want it to. And I'm just going to stamp straight down and straight up. Now, the photopolymer stamps don't have the same cushion that the red rubber do. So, depending on the surface that you're working on, you may want either a silicone mat to put underneath it to give it that cushion, or the paper piercing mat, which I do not have over here. I've got a pretty good surface and am okay most of the time. A solid image photopolymer stamp would be better with something under it. Okay, so I told you earlier that sometimes when I make those templates, I just put them in the stamp case. This is what I'm talking about. So I made a template of the lipstick and the shoe and the little flowers and the label and the perfume bottle. And that way, when I am ready to die cut, work with a die cut image and stamp it, I can use that template and my Stamparatus and get things lined up really easily. There's no reason to make a new template every time that I need to do that. And so this is a 1.5 circle, the white piece is, and the mint macaron is just a hair bigger. It's not a full 1 3/4. I used the layering circle dies for that, to cut that out already. Now, grab some of this mint macaron ribbon. Not much left here. And I'll just kind of eyeball it. I do have another bolt, so should you want to get the supplies to make this card, I have enough to send you what you need to. Now, the ordering incentive. So ordering will be open until Sunday evening. I won't prep the cards until after that special ends so that I know how many to prep. That way I can just prep once, be a little more efficient. And that's a little wonky. That's okay. It doesn't have to be straight. And I'm going to use 2 dimensionals only because I don't want it to stick directly to the ribbon. I want it to stick to the cardstock, because that ribbon might have some wobble to it. And I don't want my label wobbling around. And there you go. That is the Hello Fabulous. Now, these have envelopes as well, and I've got all this pretty paper. So let's grab some with one of these envelopes, and we'll do the same thing. And we could use any of these that we like. Oh my gosh, I love that you guys are commenting. This is fabulous. We could do that one. I have just pieces of a lot of these papers. they all coordinate. That's the fabulous thing about the products, is the coordination between the colors and the patterns. This is one of my favorites, this Petal Pink and Purple Posy. I mean, these are just so pretty. Okay, I have to stop. I'm going to work with that one. And so I'll get my snail out again. And I do use, even though I use glue on my cards, I do use snail for this. And you know, you could even stamp your envelope. You could stamp a perfume bottle here on the corner. That might be pretty. Kind of a little preview of what's going to be inside the envelope. And you could stamp. I did not stamp the inside of this card, so it didn't take me long to fudge on what I said I was trying to do more of. We could do that one. Could do it with that one. Either way, doesn't matter. So, card number 2, Hello Fabulous, from the Dress to Impress suite, the paper and the stamp set and the dies, they're all retiring. And the stamps, I know they're only guaranteed until the 22nd or the 23rd. And so that's coming up fast. Now, card number 3. These petals are Christmas bulbs. This bulb punch is what I used to punch out all the petals. And it is retiring. It has a coordinating stamp set that is just, where is my catalog? Oh, my catalog's way over here. The stamp set that goes with, that coordinates with this is just gorgeous. Making Christmas Bright is what it's called. It's on page 70 of the catalog that is retiring. It's here. And I love this circle funness, and Friends Make the Season Shine. And then there's some stamps for your bulbs. A really fun stamp set. So I don't know if that is on sale or not. I will check on all of that before, when I get photos posted. But how fun is this? So what we do, the first thing that we're going to do is actually stamp that background. That background is stamped with the Buffalo Check and Early Espresso ink. And I have this set up permanently on my Stamparatus. Actually, I'll keep that out because I'll need it. So I actually have one plate on the Stamparatus that is dedicated to the Buffalo Check. And it works like this. So I put the plate like so, and then I have this template. This is a quilter's template, a piece of, I don't know, plastic that I got from Amazon, and I trimmed it down to fit in here. And then I marked off what the layer, typical layer size is. So it's 5 1/4 by 4. And I recommend that you go ahead and stamp the whole image, and then you can cut it down to the size that you need it. I'm going to stamp this in Early Espresso. It can be a little challenging to ink up. Can you all see that? It might have slid off to the right. And this is a little challenging to get a clear image because there's this suction that gets created. And so sometimes you have to stamp it a few different times, which is the reason it is so perfect to do on the Stamparatus. And because it's a whole background, you don't have a place to put a magnet on your paper. So I'm just kind of rubbing it, applying some even pressure. The buffalo check is carrying over. It's the Christmas bulb that is not. Okay, so it's stuck. Not a big deal. Even if this has to be re-inked, it's not a big deal because I've got my template in place. So yeah, I'm definitely going to ink that up again. So I'm going to fit that back in the little grooves that I have made. So I can see that this part is right here, and then there I've missed, and then some of the outer. And I don't need the whole piece of this. I really only need, well, I'll have to check my measurements. And you could actually even, can you all see this? I've just taken a piece of paper and put it over it. Oh, thank you, Kat. Yeah, so I got a much better image the second time. So that is one of the beauties of the Stamparatus, is that you can just stamp repeatedly till you get a clear image. And just clean this off a little bit. I really should take this to the sink and give it a bath. You can tell it is a well-loved stamp. And I have brown everywhere. I recently re-inked my ink pads, so they have a ton of ink on them as well. And it's fairly easy to transfer that to the chamois and then to my fingers. But I can use a baby wipe on this as well. That won't hurt it. Just don't want to use anything with alcohol. Okay, so that is our background there. Then we're going to take a strip of white that I should have here, and we'll stamp the hello from We're going to stamp the hello from To a Wild Rose. This is a beautiful stamp set, and I do not believe it is retiring. I will verify that. I'm this blessed. I love, love, love that. And our espresso again. Yeah, we have a fair share of baby wipes at our house. The nice thing about the photopolymer stamps is that you can see where you're stamping. It's sometimes easier to line up. It's not much to line up on that little greeting. It's small. I can't wait for y'all to see the sunflower that's coming in the new catalog. My son's girlfriend loves sunflowers, and she planted a lot of sunflower seeds, different sizes, and they're shooting up. It's very exciting. Okay, so here's another stitched circle that I cut from those stitched shapes. You can see the stitching. It's a great little, I know it won't be popular forever, but it's popular right now. So I have all of these petals. I actually punched these bulbs from the Bonanza Buddies paper that we're going to use on the next card, so you can see the other side. Just wanted something that had some multiple colors rather than cardstock, because that'll give it a little dimension. So we'll put these in place and then we'll come back and cut that piece down and get it in place. So I have this circle that I'm going to glue my petals to and then put that piece on top of them to kind of hide them. So I've got 14 or 15 and this glue will take a little bit of time, long enough, it'll be tacky long enough for me to get all my petals in place. The little end of the bulb makes it really easy to see where to place them. And so, whoops, that might be a little far. Oh, phooey. Now I've got glue on my fingers. Occupational hazard. And I can just turn my silicone mat. Is my head in the way or can y'all see? There were so many cards that I wanted to make. I had a really hard time deciding what to include. So I finally came to the conclusion that I'm going to have to do some more Facebook Lives before June 2nd so that I can show you all of these products that are retiring before they actually go. And I think I did put that on dimensionals. And I'm just going to pull this up because I've got measurements on it and that will be a good thing to have. Okay. So I'm not going to count the petals. There are 13, 14, something like that I used. And then there's my center. Isn't that lovely? And then, so this is I think it's 3 3¼ square of Whisper White. And I'm going to put that down on a 3½ square of Mango Melody. Just love that sound. It's so satisfying. Makes you feel very productive. And then this, I'm going to put this straight down. I'm not going to put this on dimensionals. Just kind of center it. Okay. And then, okay, we all know I had the hello. I stamped it. What did I do with it? I didn't pay enough attention, did I? Oh my goodness. You know it's right here somewhere. Well, maybe it'll show up before I get this cut down. So this piece needs to be 2 5/8 by 4 3/4. So 2 5/8 across. Making sure it wasn't just stuck to the underside. 8. So 2 5/8 by 4 3/4. And then this piece of Mango Melody is 2 7/8 by 5. Yeah, 2 7/8 by 5. Don't know why I suddenly doubted myself so much. the other hello is stuck to my finished card. Finished card. Here. Which one? Okay, we'll find it in a second. I don't see it here. Under the sunflower. Oh, it is. Ah, thank you. See, it takes a village sometimes. Could you come over and find the other Bonanza Buddy stamp set for me? I cleaned up my space. I truly don't know what I did with it. My thumb is on it. Oh, okay, so where is my other... Did I really not cut another piece of white? Okay, looks like I didn't cut another card base. No, okay, hold on, I didn't cut a card base. Alright, so I want this to open top to bottom. So I'm going to, this is thick Whisper White. I use this for my card bases. So I'm actually going to score it. And this trimmer has a scoring tool attached, which is very handy. And then I'll cut it at 4 1/4. And I love that it has that little possibility for hooking. All right, so then we're just going to glue this part down first. There's some satisfaction to that little squiggle too. We'll pretty much even that top to bottom, but come pretty close to the edge, to the right edge. And then I have a piece of vellum that I'm going to put straight down, and I'll center it right to left. It's going to pretty much come up to the edge of the Mango Melody. And with vellum, I need to be careful where I put my adhesive, because anything that's not covered by the card would show the adhesive through it. And you'll see what I mean when I do this. So even when this glue dries, it would leave a shadow there. So careful how I do that. Then I'm going to put this one on dimensionals. And kind of, I want some of the buffalo check to show. So there is that. Now I just need to flag my hello, and I'm not very good at freehanding that, so I borrow punches whenever I can. So this is actually, I can't remember what this is called, but it's good for flagging. And I'm still kind of eyeballing it, but I know I've got plenty of room. Come in one more, I think. Okay, that's 2. Okay, I'm satisfied with that one. And I'll trim it down a little bit on the left side. And then I'm going to find the gold gems. It should be right here, but probably aren't. So we'll glue that down. And then we can decide whether we like the faceted gems better or not. Yeah, the punches are fabulous. They help speed things along. If I'm working downstairs while my husband is doing one thing, I can still be punching without feeling like I've had to bring everything out. Now, that said, I drag my die cut machine down pretty regularly. Now that might be pretty. Those are, well, I don't have the card with them, so I don't know. Or those. Okay, we've got a few choices here. I'm not seeing the gold gems that I wanted or had in mind. But that's okay. I've clearly put them somewhere. So here are our choices. These, I think, are the peacock gems. So there's kind of a gold, and here's a gold enamel dot. What do you think? Oh, I like that. But this is kind of, oh, such decisions. All right. Yeah, so, or these might be the holiday rhinestone basics. Here's what's left of the peacock, noble peacock. Those are both retiring. The gold, okay. We're going to go with these gold. And put this one there. And then we'll grab one slightly smaller. This is awesome because they already have the adhesive on the back. We'll just do them like that. So there is card number 3, our sunflower. Quite lovely. All right. And to do an envelope for that one, I think we would just have to stamp something. I don't have designer series paper to go with it. So, and of course, same thing for the inside. We could stamp one of the greetings from a wild rose or any other greeting. True friendship is one of God's greatest gifts. That would be awesome to put on the inside. How do I have another set up? All right. So the final card, it has quite a bit of detail here. And I realized when I was getting this together that I managed to already glue these 2 layers down. So this is Bermuda Bay. Oh, this is not for this card. Never mind. That goes to a different, that's a card that I need to put together for somebody else. Okay, so this one is cut 5.5 by 4 because it's going to cover the whole thing. All right, and then this piece of designer series paper is 4 by 2 3/4, which makes this 4 1/4 by 3. All right, so we can start by doing some of that labeling. I love this paper. I love everything about this suite. You know, at first glance, it looked, like it was just for kids, and we've done so much more with it. Oh my gosh, could that be any more crooked? Luckily, it's not stuck down too badly, and I can lift it up. But that's why I use glue more than I use snail. All right, there's that. On this one, I'll use glue. So, Kat, you mentioned my hair. I did sneak out and get my hair done a week or so ago, the 11th, whenever that was. And so I was the first one in. Kelly and I were the only 2 people there. It was so nice because, I grow hair easily. And so I was quite shaggy and quite full of wisdom by then. And then this has got so much depth to it. I'm not going to put this piece on dimensionals either Normally, I probably would. I mean, a lot of times I do. But this card, it's already feeling kind of heavy. And then this little banner I cut from the dies that go with this suite. I'm just going to put a dot of glue on either end. Put it down. I'm going to hold it for just a second. Okay, now I guess I put them inside the stamp set. Okay, so there are a few pieces that we then need to stamp. So I have a label that I've cut from the Stitched So Sweetly dies, and you need to see these because I have used these a lot. In fact, I have a whole little collection over here of pre-cut from these dies because I use them so much. They are carrying over there in the mini catalog, and they are I didn't put the price on the back of these, but they're part of a bundle with a great sentiment, actually the sentiment that we're going to use for this. And then I've already cut out the toucan and the little balloons. We're going to stamp the balloons, and we have to fussy cut them. And we're actually going to use markers for our greeting. So I've got those over here. So let's do this greeting first. And so this is so sentimental. Oh, Catherine, I have a graduation card to show you. So here's a graduation card for you. Got a little shimmer on the dress and everything. So I need to send that to Jordan. Give me an idea of colors. I do not know her colors, or if she cares. Here's another one where I've already put the dies, the templates in. That's for the confetti. So I am going to do two-tone here. I'm going to color the confetti in Bermuda Bay. This is a regular Stampin' Write marker. And then I'm going to color, this calls for, in Basic Black. So your Stampin' Write markers have a blunt end just for writing, and then they have this brush tip. And I'm going to lay the brush on its side and do like this. I also made a cute little graduation card in the Facebook Live. I think it was this Monday or Tuesday. I don't know, Monday morning. But I like that one better, I think, for Jordan. And so the markers dry pretty quickly. So I'm going to re-moisten it by huffing on it. I know, reactivate the ink. Maybe that sounds better. Voila! And then I'll do the same thing with the confetti. And I'm going to use Grapefruit Grove onto the little pieces. And Bermuda Bay. Oh heck, I think I got this off. And then Daffodil Delight. Isn't that fun? Now the trick is going to be, if I don't clean off my stamp, remembering to color the same ones. To do the top part. Isn't that so fun? All right, there's the markers. So I think they're finished. I'll put them away in just a minute. I'll clean that up in just a minute. Oh, actually, I'll clean it up faster than that because I need that block. I still need to stamp the toucan. And I'll show you. I didn't color that toucan. I still need to color the toucan's beak from my first card. With the photopolymer, you can just about stamp some of these without the Stamparatus. So this is a great greeting bundle to have. So sentimental. But it's just beautiful. But I will document all of that for you. So with the toucan, I do have my template made, but I'm not going to use it. With the photopolymer, we're going to be able to stamp without it. So I've got my toucan cut out. I'm going to ink him up in black. And, sometimes I take the stamp to the ink, and sometimes I take the ink to the stamp. He's pretty well inked. And yep, he does have a little edge. And now I'm just going to line him up. I will put him on the mat just to give a little more contrast. But I can pretty well see whether or not he's lined up. And he's a fairly solid image, so I'll give him just a second to make that transfer. And then you can see there's pretty good. All right, and then I need these little balloons stamped. And we'll use 3 different colors on them. And we'll start with our lightest, which is Daffodil Delight. And that will lighten up as it dries. But 2, it's really well inked. 10 minutes till 6, and somebody from work just pinged me. That's interesting. You all probably heard that little ding too. And so that was Grapefruit Grove, which is retiring. That's a color that is retiring. Colors, we have 5 new in colors every year. They come on board for 2 years and then they retire. And this is Bermuda Bay. And I stuck my finger in that. Okay. Okay. Put the toucan away. Then I just need to stamp the balloon strings, and they do not have a die for them. So I'll fussy cut them. Oh, you know what? I do need to color the toucan's beak. Come here, little fella. And I'm going to do Grapefruit Grove. I'm just using the Stampin' Write marker. And then I'll get Terracotta Tile. And get that Daffodil White for the last little bit. And then we need to stamp the strings. And of course I've got a dimensional stuck to me. I've got black all over the edge of that, but that's okay. And there's the stamping. I love the greeting in this that says, "I'm glad it's your birthday so I can tell you how wonderful you are." It was well worth it to reorder that stamp set. I love it. And I wasn't going to include it in my buy one get one sale the 1st of June. So I do sell most of my stamps. Most of my retiring products do get sold. And it's a buy one get one so that you can purchase from the retired. Say that you spend $40 in retired product, then you're going to select $40 in new product, but you're going to pay me $40 plus tax and shipping and get $80 worth of products. So it's definitely a win-win. I have people that are already asking about the sale and when it will be. And how I'm going to do it if we can't be in person. I'm still working on that. So nothing hard about what I'm doing here. You do need a pair of sharp, small scissors. Our paper snips are $10. Okay, so now we are down to assembly. So we've already gotten this much done. I'm going to put the greeting down next. And then I'll put the toucan with the dimensional. And then I'll put a little bit of glue on the strings. I'm just going to slide them under his beak. And then I'm going to get some small dimensionals. Well, that one does not want to peel. There it goes. And so there's the Daffodil Delight. Here's the Grapefruit Grove. And then Bermuda Bay. And there you go. Cards 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here's number 4. And here's number 3. Here's number 2. Here is the envelope for number 2, and then we could do an envelope for that one. And then number 1. So I hope that you enjoyed our card class today. I know that it was a little different format and a little bumpy. I very much appreciate you being here and commenting and keeping it interactive. That makes it much easier to do. I'll post the details of what's on sale, and so that you can decide if you'd like to make these cards, if you'd like to make a purchase, and what that order. I'll remind you of what that ordering special is again. I'll post photos of the cards and tie them to the products that we used. What else do you need to know? Today I need to know whether or not you would like to participate in the Manly cards on May 30th. That's a Saturday morning. We'll do 10 o'clock. The cost is $30, and you'll receive $20 in product in a goodie bag, and you'll have 8 cards that you'll make. There'll be 4 designs, and you'll make 2 of each. And I do have those handy, so let me show them to you real fast. Okay, so here they are. So here's one design. So you can see, here's the second one. Real masculine looking. This one, yep. But remember, you're going to get this die cut. I'm going to cut for you and send it. So the only stamping is the happy birthday, unless you decorate the inside of your card, which you certainly can. And then this design, and I did stamp the golfer on the inside with the greeting for it. What if you don't have a golfer? That's okay. Don't get locked into that, because the colors in these papers, you're not locked in to golf. Okay, so there might be golf on one side, but on the other side, it's something much more generic. So here's this blue, and then flags on the other side. And then here and here. So the paper is gorgeous, and you can swap up the things if you don't have golf. But the golfer is on sale. It's retiring, so it's a great bargain. But I need to know right away if you'd like to participate in that, so that I can get your prepped materials to you by let's not go backwards, May 30th. That's at 10 o'clock in the morning. That'll be a Zoom call in the Birthday Facebook group. So thanks so much for being here, guys. I appreciate you more than you know. Thanks a lot. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.